Hi everyone, today we'll make Asam Laksa. This is a very dear dish to me from my trips to Malaysia and Indonesia. It's probably my favorite noodle soup. So this soup consists in a tangy fish broth and rice noodles. It's quite complicated to do the traditional version in the West since there are at least two ingredients that are really difficult to find, which are the ginger torch flour and asam galugar, a sort of dried mango fruit that actually gives the tangy flavor that we can get from the tamarind that we're gonna use. So let's start. First, we're gonna make it really simple. You're gonna need 1 mackerel and 1 liter of water. So you just have actually to cook the mackerel. If you have a wok or some kind of pan that is deep enough to put the fish to cook slightly only, you can use it. And as soon as the water boils, you cook it for 10 minutes. So let's go. So after 10 minutes it's ready. And you can just filter the broth. Save the resultant broth aside and now try to extract all the meat from the fish, discarding the skin and bones. So take it. It's easier to... You can check for the smaller bones later. So you can throw the skin and bones and carefully check for other bones inside. You might have to do it a couple of times. Now we will divide approximately in 3 the quantity of meat you have and leave 1 of the thirds to top the soup, whereas the other one you're gonna mash with the fork. Throw any bones that you find during the process. It also helps you to find some, mashing it. And you set both of them aside. Now we'll make the laksa paste. For this you will need 5 grams of turmeric, fresh, 4 shallots, 5 grams of shrimp paste, some galangal, I would say like 1 inch too, and 3 fresh chilies that you can actually also replace by 6 dried ones. We're also gonna need some lemongrass, 1 stalk, and for later 5 stalks of Vietnamese coriander, but not to mix in the paste immediately. Also, we'll need some water to make the paste more fluid. So first you're gonna chop the lemongrass, discard the top. Try to chop a bit thinly so that you have less problems on whizzing it because it's a bit stalky. Put in the mixer. And the galangal, same story. Mixer. Don't mind about the seeds. Then take the peel off and chop the shallots. We add also the shrimp paste. We peel the turmeric and chop it. Add it to the mix. And you can start blending, guiding with the water the fluidity of the mix. Ready now. Meanwhile, you can start boiling 1 liter of water. The resultant paste should look like this, of course with the yellows of the turmeric. Set aside. Now that the water boils, you can reduce the heat and add the Vietnamese coriander stalks. It looks like this, in case you never seen it. Just let them simmer for some moments. This is the fish broth that we did in the beginning. You're gonna add it to the soup. And you're gonna increase the heat. And you'll add also the tamarind paste, 80 gram. Mixing it and bringing it to a boil. You can also add your laksa paste. Mixing again. So once the water is boiling, you'll reduce the heat and let it simmer for 15 minutes. And you can start preparing the toppings for your soup. So you're gonna have the mackerel meat that we took from the bone in the beginning, some thick rice noodles that you can find usually fresh in the Asian shop, an edge of cucumber, an onion or a shallot, and some fresh chili. You can also add a fresh touch with some fresh mint. Start by cutting the cucumber in thin stripes. First half it and then in rectangles. And cut some of the chili. Take some of the seeds off. Peel the onion. And dice it very thinly. So now you're gonna get ready to take from the soup the Vietnamese coriander. Taste the broth to see if you need to add some salt and sugar. And add some sugar. Taste. And also salt. And taste it till you're satisfied. It's lovely. You can then display noodles in your bowl. And you can mix the mackerel in the broth. And with a ladle, blanch your noodles with the broth that you just made. And then again back to the soup. And once more, blanching it softly. Like this, your noodles will be perfect. Can then garnish the soup with some of the mackerel that we cooked. Some cucumber. Chili flakes. And the fresh mint. Some of the onions. And here you have your Asam Laksa is ready. Don't hesitate to make me any questions, or if you have any doubts, you can also subscribe my channel here under. And I see you next week for another recipe. Ciao!